On today's video, Eric will show you how to install our flat underbody cover for the Porsche 981.
So we have 4 total rivet nuts to install, 2 in these outer holes and then 2 in these inner holes. We'll have to drill these 2 inner holes out, so we'll start by installing these outer ones really easily. You'll grab your rivet nut tool and the rivet nut with the flange, thread it on, serrated on the nut on this side next to the rivet nut. .9/16 wrench and a 10mm socket. The outer 2 rivet nuts are now installed. We'll move on to the inner ones, and you have to drill those out first. Using a stepper drill bit, we're going to open these holes up to 3/8 inch, specifically 3/8, no larger. Same as before, we're going to use the 9/16 wrench and a 10mm socket to install these low profile rivet nuts. Four rivet nuts are all installed, and now we move on to the underbody panels, which have to be bolted together. Place the 2 covers on something soft to protect the powder coat, and then we'll grab our smaller M4 hardware with washers and nylock nuts, a 7mm and a 2.5mm Allen wrench, and bolt the 2 together. We're going to start the install by removing these 13mm bolts from the lower sway bar bracket. We grab the supplied bolt, or the bracket, and we install it on that lower bolt, or bolt hole, as shown. Note that the angled part goes towards the rear of the vehicle. Using a torque wrench, we torque it to 14 to 16 foot-pounds. We include some foam in each kit so that you can protect some of the underbody pieces and reduce rattling or potential rattling. Recommend cutting in about 2-inch slivers and placing it in a few locations, which we'll show you here shortly. First location is this underbody brace. Go right here. Another location will be this little lip right here. Then do the same thing to the other side. One other location we found that needs a little bit of foam is right here. The sheet metal gets kind of close, could rattle, may not, but we're going to add a little bit of foam just to ensure that there's no rattles. Just on the back side of this oval opening and in the center. It's time to install the underbody cover. We recommend doing the rear 4 bolts first and then moving to the front 2. Grab your small button head cap screws, a washer, and then the serrated nuts, which will go on top. these 4 rearward bolts are still loose, and then we'll move to the front side to button it up. On the front side, we recommend doing the 2 outer ones first. We'll add a nylon spacer. If you're installing it all the way up on the chassis, which is recommended, we found that a 15mm nylon spacer on the outside is best. We do include other spacers for various other heights if needed, but we hope that everyone can basically install it all the way up for the best benefits. So we grabbed the 45mm long button head cap screw with a washer and the nylon spacer. The nylon spacer goes on top of the panel. Pull through it. And hand thread in a few. And do the same to the other side. Grab the remaining 2 short M6 button head cap screws and thread those in the middle 2 holes. Assuming everything went on without a hitch, we can grab a 4mm Allen wrench and tighten everything up. Once all of the button head cap screws are tightened, we can do a quick little check to make sure that no abnormal noises will happen, just by gently hitting the under panel. If there's no abnormal noises, we're done with the install. If there is an abnormal noise, you try and trace it down, figure out where it's at in the panel, take it back off, use the supplied foam, add a little bit of protective layer, and bolt it back up, see if that fixes it. If you follow our directions pretty accurately, you shouldn't have any noises, as we've tried to figure all that out for you. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.